As a dunker that's currently dealing with a current knee injury, you may or may not relate. If you do, I want you to hear this. If you don't, I still want you to hear this because you'll eventually feel it if you actually enjoy training for this stuff. So my first point is that there's opportunity in disaster. And what I mean by that is that there is always some type of opportunity, whether big or small, starting small and then getting bigger. There is always some type of opportunity in specifically what we could be talking about, but it could also relate to anything in life. Your injury. There's always some opportunity to learn more about your body. There's opportunity for mental and physical growth. There's opportunity for growth outside of what you're doing with your injury, whether it's something outside of it that you want to work on, like my podcast, for example. With this injury, I've had a lot more time for that. Check that out, by the way. Link in the description. But yeah, it's just an example. It's like there's always some type of opportunity, whether it's to have opportunity for growth during that disaster, during that injury, or opportunity to work on something outside of that. So if you're looking at it truthfully, there is always some type of blessing there for improvement somewhere in your life. But with that also comes the temptation to do what's exciting, which is having a jump session or jumping. In this case, there will always be that temptation. You will always feel that temptation, but that as well is also an opportunity for growth, because the mind will seduce you into what feels good now, but truthfully, it's something you've heard before: short-term and long-term gratification. The reality of it is, this is short-term gratification. You feel this, and then this is the emptiness after. Or maybe even the emotions you feel, whether that's depression or frustration, if you go and have a dunk session and then you re-hurt yourself and then you set yourself back, then was that really worth it? But then if you're talking about long-term gratification, you look at this, it's a long time, but then after, keep that forever. And even in the moments where you are in that forever phase, you've kept it, you look back, whether it's physically or financially, whatever it is, when you're at that point and you look back at what you went through to go through that, it all makes sense. But in this current moment, it may not make sense to you why you're going through this. But you have to look for that opportunity and listen carefully for what is calling you in that direction to grow. Because if you really just distract yourself and you really give into the emotion and you give into the butterflies of emotion that are scattering everywhere and letting that control your will, you are not going to find it. You have to sit still and listen. Many will experience injury. Many will experience some type of disaster. Let's take 10 people who experience the same exact thing. If one of them sees it as an opportunity, everyone else doesn't, everyone else may not come out of that physically or mentally and get back to what they love doing. Especially if you actually enjoy this. If you really love doing what you're doing, you'll do anything to get back. So this is one thing I'm telling you. See this as an opportunity for growth somewhere, inside and out. Because if we're talking about inside, the experience that you learn and everything that sticks with you mindset wise will stick with you after you've gone through that phase. And then if you go through something next time that could be even worse, it's just another opportunity. And then once you get out of that, so it really matters how these are perceived. If you perceive this as something that is just frustrating and depressing and it's gonna be a depressing process, then it's gonna be much more difficult for during and after. If even you still get out of that, you're gonna be wishing that you never went through that again. And then when you do go through that again, who knows what'll happen. And these feelings, these emotions that you feel, whether you have been set back or whether you first feel this injury or whether you feel the temptation after a good while and you feeling good, those emotions, you're going to inevitably feel them. But it's about whether you allow that to control your will because there's this quote that I know. It's called "Butterflies in Formation," and this one is more about nervousness, which I've used this in like job interviews and stuff, but it goes for any emotion. Butterflies will be all over the place. It'll be uncontrollable. It'll be, with nervousness, with even excitement, with frustration, with depression. But keeping those information with things that can help is your breath, and having the awareness of, your body and what you're feeling. Like if you feel some sort of excitement, frustration, nervousness, you're going to feel your heart beating. And then you may have some personal tics for that as well. But if you can put these feelings in formation, just like the military, how they have like those formations, those like square formations of them all walking. If you can make it just like that, use the awareness of now, your body, your breath, your sense of smell, what you hear. Use all of it to really put it all in formation and not suppress it. Because if you try to suppress it, if you're like, no, I'm not gonna do it, you're gonna try and like suppress it down, and then one day it's gonna be stronger than this wall that you're using to suppress it down, and then it's just gonna come out. I don't know if that looked weird or not, but it's just gonna come out if you try to suppress it. So it's good to put it in formation and move forward with it, and to sit with that emotion as well, to let yourself feel that emotion. Let yourself feel it, because if you don't let yourself feel it, it's just going to come back stronger, and you're going to have to feel it even stronger. So focus on what's going on now, because if you're not, you're going to be in your head, and your head is going to seduce you into what feels good now. And just like I said before, short-term and long-term gratification, how that works. And with everything that I have told you in this video, you will never, ever be perfect with it. You will never be perfect. I literally just told you, I think I did. I had a flare-up a few weeks ago. The guy, I wanted him to test his vert trainer, and then I decided, let me go for a quick jump. I got a terrible flare-up. I'm getting back now, but you are never going to be perfect. But in reality, there's beauty in that, because now that's up to us to get better at that and be better, because we are not perfect creatures. So we have to learn how to manage our bodies and our minds to exponentially grow, mind and body to exponentially grow with the temptation, with the emotions that we feel. And that's a challenge. But at the end of the day, we're blessed with that challenge to improve as imperfect beings. So that's it for this video. My socials, or my Instagram, will be in the description actually, because I don't really have any other socials. Check out the podcast as well. It's on YouTube, and it's also on Spotify. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.